You probably already know that it is of crucial importance to ask for feedback after an experience. And an experience being somebody who bought your product, or the example that I'm going to talk about now, people that have visited your event. There are quite some ways on how you can get this feedback, but that also means that there are quite some ways on doing it wrong. And that's why I thought to create this short video to provide you with some tips and tricks on things that we have seen that work. First one up, what would be the best moment to ask my audience for feedback? And the answer to that question is quite straightforward. Make sure that your first call to action happens within a week after the event has taken place. The reason for that is actually quite simple. People that went to your event have, during the days after, it's still top of mind, they're talking about it with their friends, they're enjoying the aftermath, so to speak, but within that week, the chance of them going to another event, festival, or experience something new is also quite big. So during the time that you and your event are still top of mind, that's the moment when you should ask what they thought of it. Second one, how should we address them? First one is quite simple and quite straightforward, is via email. It's one of the only media that we have that contains messages that still wait for people. So within that week, first one up is to send an email to the ticket buyers or to all the people that have registered for your event. You can make this a personal one, and that definitely helps your conversion. Next to that is to make sure of the reach that you have via your social media channels. Facebook, Twitter, post a link on the event page and you're ready to go. Now, which questions you should ask are of course very hard for me to predict, but what I can tell you is the things you shouldn't ask. And the things you should not ask for are the things that you already know. Sounds like common sense, but we see it happen a lot that event organizers which already have specific insights ask for it again in the survey afterwards. For example, if I have bought a ticket and I supplied the event organizer with my first name, my last name and my location, I should not be asked again in the survey afterwards. It's data you already have from me, which makes me feel unappreciated if I have to submit it again. And don't be fooled, because people absolutely realize that. One of the things, or one of the questions I get a lot when talking about this subject is whether an incentive should be given for people to share their feedback. The answer to that is quite straightforward. It always helps. Yes, it's not always necessary to get a good conversion, because there are multiple ways on how to make sure your audience is loyal and engaged, but we'll talk about that in another video. But to put it simple, it always helps your case. People like free stuff, that's one thing, but most importantly, people would like to get something in return. So you can provide free tokens or a chance for a VIP package, but even if you are not willing or able to provide your audience with those kind of incentives, make sure that they feel heard. You can share some high-level results. You can publish all of them if you want to play with all your cards on the table. But what is most important is that you make sure that you offer them a personalized message back, just as they have done for you. For example, what is possible within the Hugo system is that you group people based on their preferences and the feedback they've given. Select, for example, all the people whose experience was not rated as very well. Send them an email by saying, we're very sorry you didn't have such a good time as, for example, the year before, but next year we're going to take your feedback into account and we'll promise you it's going to be amazing again. You'll be surprised by the amount of loyalty and engagement you will get from your fans and how many will return for next year.